Hello and welcome to Factive, your home for knowledge in 5 minutes or less. My name is Sean. Today we're going to be learning about labor unions. So let's get started. If you want to send a corporation scrambling, just mention the words organized labor. You might have less of a response if you just yell fire in a crowded theater. Before we dig into why labor unions elicit such a strong response in corporate leadership, let's first understand why they were necessary in the first place. The American Industrial Revolution occurred over 2 centuries on either side of the American Civil War in the 1860s. It greatly expanded manufacturing technologies and spurred economic growth in the United States. Where the nation once relied on small niche businesses to build products, the Industrial Revolution moved many sectors, including steel production and textiles, toward factory production. Just like in our modern economy, an increase in efficiency and output does not necessarily lead to a decrease in labor. Oftentimes, improved technology and processes drive a growth mindset and the desire to do more with less. In the Industrial Revolution, the same mindset led to longer working hours and lower wages and unsafe, even deadly conditions for adults and children alike. It's no surprise that workers eventually became fed up after enough long days and lost limbs. While not the first labor strike in the United States, the first major national labor strike occurred in Martinsburg, West Virginia in 1877. This strike, known as the Great Railroad Strike of 1877 or the Great Upheaval, occurred when the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad cut worker pay by up to 35% over 3 years during a depression when wages, job security, and working conditions were already at an all-time low. The strike ended in less than 2 months due to violent intervention by the National Guard, local militia, and federal troops deployed by President Rutherford B. Hayes. Although the strike ultimately failed, with participating workers being punished and fired, the disruption did inspire future labor movements and spur other companies to improve worker benefits and pay. And it turns out, as the president of the Burlington Railroad wrote at the time, it may be more expensive to decrease worker pay than to increase it. Those are wise words. Emboldened by public sentiment for workers' rights and existing craft unions, the American Federation of Labor would be established in 1886. It was the largest union federation in history at the time and would merge with the Congress of Industrial Organizations to form the AFL-CIO, a highly influential labor federation that remains in operation to this day. So what are the benefits of participating in a labor union? As anyone who is employed can attest, it is easy to feel like the terms and conditions of our employment are at the mercy of our corporate overlords. Union membership gives workers access to collective bargaining, where union leadership negotiates with employers for better wages, benefits, and working conditions, legal representation in employment disputes, and training and education that could help workers improve their skills and job prospects. Unions also command political power where individuals may not, so they can advocate for policies that improve workers' lives and hold politicians accountable. We can thank union efforts for many of the good things we have as employees, including the end of child labor, 8-hour work days, 40-hour work weeks, weekends, workers' comp, unemployment, employer-based health coverage, and job protection provided by the Family Medical Leave Act, or FMLA, which has protected my job during health crises in my own family. While there is still a ways to go, much progress has been made since the Industrial Revolution. So what's the catch? There have to be a few downsides to unionization, right? Well, depending on how you look at it, there are a few. Higher wages and more lucrative benefits resulting from collective bargaining can make a company less competitive than a non-union company. This can lead to layoffs and outsourcing. Strict contracts and rules can make change and innovation difficult, restricting new technology and process improvements. Unionization can also negatively impact relationships between management and even fellow non-union coworkers. I have personally seen union workers sleeping on an assembly line or even heard firsthand about an entire plant being down for hours waiting on a union electrician to flip a switch. Now, this is not the norm, but it happens. Lastly, union leadership holds positions of political power, which, as we well know, can breed corruption. While most union leaders have workers' rights first and forefront, some do use their positions for personal gain and to intimidate others to join the union. Early in my career as an engineer, I actually worked for someone whose family had to move out of state when their homes kept burning down because their father refused to join a prominent union. Now, again, this is not the norm, but any powerful organization can succumb to corruption. As labor unions see renewed focus in our national discourse, thanks to high-profile cases involving companies like Amazon and Starbucks, we must keep the benefits and downsides in mind. I think we can all agree that unchecked capitalism is not the best way forward. We have to find a healthy balance between workers' rights, corporate responsibility, and economic growth to prosper as a nation. Well, that is the end of today's video. For a deeper dive into this topic, please see the links in the description below. Also, don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment about what factive topics you'd like me to cover next. Until next time, have a good one.